All right, so if you are interested in reprogramming your brain to make money online in just 7 days, just watch this video carefully and don't you dare skip even a second. So, your brain might be the reason you are not rich yet. Because in order to be successful financially, you have to do certain things that will make you uncomfortable. And our brain is actually designed to save us from those things. In more simple words, protect us from difficult things. And that is actually the only reason why you're not making money. And actually, if you see the most successful people, in financially more successful people in history, uh, they have more patience, more control, and they actually have a habit of training their brain, or in more simple words, actually doing something that makes them uncomfortable, so their brain actually say yes to difficulty, and don't let them live in limited beliefs. So there is a hidden problem that you need to understand. Your brain hates uncertainty, and it is actually true because we as humans are designed to live in a comfortable place and to live in a simple zone, where and we actually because of this nature we actually underestimate the effort that requires to become financially independent and make more money. So it's not always the limited belief problem. It's also the problem within you, that you actually set certain criteria for yourself, that following your passion is going to make you money, and you choose that category or niche, and you work so hard in certain areas of your life, and but then you don't see financial success. So your brain actually hates uncertainty, and it is a very difficult for your brain to go adopt new things, or actually something that is very challenging and requires a lot of courage and confidence. Your brain actually stop you from doing that. But in order to be financially free, you need to actually have a lot of confidence and courage, at the same time having the ability to be uncomfortable, or to be in an uncomfortable zone. And this example is actually true because when you have limited beliefs, limited exposure, and again limited experience, you think that is your world, and your brain actually optimize your entire life according to that. But actually you live in the zone, and you need to break it if you wanted to make money, because making money is all about taking bold steps, and having the courage and confidence to jump onto new things and or difficult things, and do and solve problems for people, and solve more critical problems that can pay you well, right? So there is a pattern in your brain, right? It's basically based on four things: comfort, distractions, and safe choices, right? So comfort is the first one. Like I said before, that your brain is actually designed to make you more comfortable and actually save you from unfamiliar territories and unfamiliar feelings, right? Or in simple words, uncomfortable feelings, right? It's a human nature, right? And then, of course, the distraction. So if you are a distracted person, and you're wasting a lot of time for just getting dopamine spikes, then of course it is not going to help you to make more money, right? because again, like I said before, the your brain set the limits for yourself, right? And once you are not able to break it, and you're busy enjoying what you already have, then of course it is very difficult for you to achieve financial success, right? And then of course, save choices, which is basic choices, is basically choosing the easy goals, or goals that don't make you uncomfortable and don't challenge you, right? So when you make these type of simple choices for your life, you cannot really see massive financial success, or you cannot see the money, lot of money in your life, because you need to understand, the making money is all about inputs and outputs. The bigger the inputs, the reward is bigger. The simple example I can give you, about the movie stars. Of course, it's very difficult to be a movie star, right? There is a lot of struggle. There's a lot of input. There's a lot of time and effort, energy, and of course, it's extremely difficult to even break into this industry, right? But you see, the reward of this industry is incredibly amazing, because once you are a star, your life totally changed, and you have a lot of privileges that many people, even people with money, cannot have, right? So you need to understand that you have to make better choices for yourself, and you need to train your brain to pick the most difficult things first. And secondly, you need to train your brain to adopt new things quickly and don't feel uncomfortable, right? Or in more simple words, train your brain to resist difficult things, right? And break that zone, that comfortable zone that you have in your life, that is actually ruining your financial dreams. Because if you wanted to make money, you need to break the bubble that you live in, right? So how you can do this in just 7 days, right? First of all, you need to have courage and confidence to take a bold step. Making money requires a very high level of confidence and high level of courage and ability to ignore criticism. And if you just limit your potential, or limit yourself into certain things, for example, 9 to 5 jobs, right? And you think that that is the reality. And if you start a business, people will judge you, and people will, look down on you and laugh at you. Then of course you cannot make money, because you need to understand one thing: all the progress in this world happened because someone was willing to put the energy and effort into something that is not clear initially, but have a big outcomes, right? That's why I always said that the dreamers actually can make it in life, rather than extremely practical people. That's why I always believe that dreamers actually have the capability to do things that even very knowledgeable or technical people cannot do, or in other words, practical people cannot do, right? If you see, let me give you the example of internet. If you see all the people that are successful on the internet, they have a very simple and very common pattern, that if you notice that they don't really care about anything, right? The example that I can give you, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, right? And there are a lot of people on the internet, even Mr. Beast, right? You see the pattern that they have. They have the courage and confidence to go after things and don't get embarrassed, right? Or in more simple words, they don't really care about what people think, right? So you need to have this spirit if you want to change your life. You need to have the courage. Like I said before, I'm repeating the two most important things, which is courage, confidence, and the ability to not give F, right? So these, if you have those three things in your personality, it is very easy for you to achieve your financial goals, because the money favors the bold, right? It is an old saying that money favors the bold, and it is true, right? So the one step that you need to take initially is to take a bold step. So that is very important. And if you're starting a new business, if you are an online business owner or agency owner and you are making money and you are comfortable, but you wanted to make more, then of course that the first step that you can do is that you can start a new offer and run more ads, right? And get more people. Don't afraid of people. If you want to make money, you need eyeballs, right? You need people. And in order to get the people, you need to be bold. You need to be very vocal about what you are offering, and you need to have more attention, right? And attention is something that you cannot get it being average. I can give you example. Go to any crowd in your place, in the market or in the mall or anywhere, and have a mic, right? And just speak. Just speak, get the people's attention. And you will see that a lot of people, even with the mic, a lot of people will not even listen to you and don't even bother. But when you go and yell at them or scream, everybody will look back to you, right? So in order to have this type of courage and this type of confidence, you definitely need courage, more courage. And so the first step you need to take is take a bold action. Don't scared. If you have don't scared of anybody. If you have the idea, just go after it, right? And number two is break the comfort pattern. And the second step that you need to take is actually breaking the bubble that you live in, right? Because of course it is not easy for you to say no to comfort, but if you wanted to get the best outcomes from your inputs, then you have to break the comfort pattern, right? And of course, like I said before, your brain actually adopts things very quickly, and it is actually wired like that whenever you do something in a repetitive manner, your brain actually adopts it, and it tries to do the same thing again and again, and because it is your enemy. It is actually stopping you to become successful in life, and you will see people will go ahead from you, and you will see people who actually break the comfort pattern. Even in your circle, you will see that the people who break the comfort pattern, of course that it is not a nice feeling, but over time you will see that they are succeeding in life and they are achieving new things, big things, right? So this is what you need to do, right? You need to break that stupid comfort pattern that is based on limited beliefs, limited dopamine spikes and limited pleasure, and you need to break that, right? No rest, right? If you're making less than $5,000 or $10,000, I think that you should break that pattern and you should go after new things too, because you're already in a comfortable zone, right? And I have seen in my own friend circles that money actually make people lazy, right? I've seen people in my friend circle working extremely entrepreneurs. Majority of my friends are entrepreneurs and online business owners. So I've seen them working extremely hard on when they start a business, and when they started to make money, they actually go to vacations, get married, and go to private islands, and wasting their time and not forcing them to work so they can get more money, so they can make more money, right? So I always said that 10K a month is a benchmark, And when you actually hit it, you are in a very comfortable zone, and then you should go after 20K or 30K or 40K. But the problem is the most of the entrepreneurs just mm, just hit that benchmark, the 10K a month, and then they become lazy, which is, I think, is not a good idea, especially if you wanted to make generational wealth. And now you need to shift your identity as well, because you need to understand one thing, that why you are not making money right now, it is because the person you are, right? So you need to change your identity, because in order to get the best outcomes, you need to change your identity. You need to change your personality, right? And it's of course, I'm not saying that it is ethical to shift your personality, because it is very rare, because it is in your blood and you cannot change certain things. But still, just for the sake of financial goal, you can change your identity, right? In more simple language, I will explain this to you, that let's say you are a manager working in a company, right? And you're making 5 grand or 10 grand and living a good life. But can you make $100,000 per month, right? You need to ask yourself. And in order to do that, you need to change your identity. And once you changed your identity and go after new things as well, right? I'm not saying that you should leave your job, right? But in order to make money, you just need to change your identity. And identity shift means changing your habits, changing limited beliefs that you have, and going after new things, and having the ability to put your energy and effort into new things, right? So that was the third step that you need to take, shifting your identity, right? Just for the sake of financial goal. It is not harmless, right? If you just stick to one thing, and that one thing is not giving you anything, right? It's not changing anything. It is pointless, right? It is pointless to have those limited beliefs living with you for the rest of your life, right? So identity shift is a game changer, right? So one thing that I can give you, another simple example I'll give you about the introvert people, right? Introverts basically live their entire life being silent. But the problem is, when you're overly shy, it is not good for you and not for the people around you. At the same time, especially when you wanted to make money, it is also not good for your financial goals, right? Because when you're shy, you cannot pitch people your product or your service, right? And I don't like these old psychologists and doctors actually give introverts clean chit that, okay, they are not interested in life, they are not interested in people. Of course, they process information internally. I myself is an introvert. But look at me now. I have to make videos in front of you. It's not like that I'm forced to do that, but it's essential for my business. So I have the confidence and courage to be in front of camera, right? And of course, it took me, I think, within a week or two to make this decision that I should be in front of camera and I should address my audience, address my ideal customers, and of course, helping people. So you need to shift your identity, right? Just to get to the financial goal, right? You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be super technical, super robotic, and rude to people. But you just have the ability to say no to them and just focus on your work and jump on new things, learn new things. That's how you can make a lot of money. The fourth step that you need to take is select your goal. So we as human are driven by reward, right? We all have reward related mentality. It motivates us to work, right? So if you see the most successful people when it comes to money, they have goal and they don't have limited belief, right? And don't judge my morals, but having materialistic goals is actually help you to achieve more success, right? Or having not I'm not saying that you should have unrealistic materialistic goal, but you need to have a certain believable materialistic goal. You need to have a believable materialistic goal that I think that you should have, and you should because it will motivate you to work hard, and it will motivate you to put efforts and energy into business, right? So actually, having a specific financial goal in mind will help you to get going, right? Actually, so environment shift, right? If you wanted to achieve financial freedom and make a lot of money, then you need to learn to say no, right? You need to say no to your friends, right? Because success cannot come without compromise, right? I know it is not. It is very hard when your friends are going to party and you are saying no to them. But the problem is, if you want to make your life better, if you want to have leverage over others, and if you want to make more money, then you need to have the inputs that are not familiar to all other people's. So if you want to make more money, you need to have different actions, and you cannot make money without changing your environment, because so in more simple words, I can explain this to you, that if you're not able to say no to your friends, that means that you're actually going with them and having the same actions that your friends are having, and actually doing the same things that your friends are doing. How can you make more money if you and your friends have the same actions, right? It's a very clear example, right? Like I said before, that making money is all about inputs and inputs, right? Actions, right? And if your action is not aligning with your financial goal, then of course you will not achieve any success. So you need to shift your environment. Your environment is your comfortable zone, right? Where you are actually wasting your time, right? You need to change that, right? Especially if you are poor, I don't think so that it is easy for change your environment. So I'm not saying that you should change location or something. I mean, if you can, you should. But if you're not able to change locations, it's fine. But you need to be very careful with your time. Don't say yes to your friends. Don't go to parties, right? Or just lock yourself in the room and work on your goal, right? Or in other words, use your time smartly, right? Smartly and in more productive things, right? So you know that when you're saying yes to your friends, you go to the party, get drunk, and waste your valuable time, rather than you can just choose to say no, which is initially will look hard. But when you choose to say no, which means that you have more time to reach to more people that are actually interested in your product or service, or in more. So now you will have more time to spend building a profitable business, getting more clients, getting more leads, closing more people, and getting the attention of your ideal customers. So these are the only 5 things that you need to do, and you will see in 7 days you will be able to focus more, you will be able to make more money, and you will be a better person, most important. So this is the end of this video, and if you like this video, you should subscribe, you should hit the like button, and you should hit the share button as well. And if you're a person want to scale your business to from 10,000 to 100 or 100 to even more, then you should click the link below and drop your email, and my team will contact you from there. All right, take care.